You meet someone on a random Tuesday afternoon. They smile at you, you smile back. A simple conversation turns into hours of talking. You laugh at the same jokes, you both love the same music. And somehow, for the first time in years, it feels like someone finally understands you. 3 days later, you're checking your phone every 5 minutes, wondering why they haven't texted back yet. 1 week later, you're already imagining vacations together, meeting each other's families, maybe even spending the rest of your lives together. But here's the strange part. You barely know this person, so why does it feel like you've known them forever? Is it love? Or is your brain creating an illusion? Let's talk about Emma. Emma was 26 years old. She had been single for almost 2 years after a painful breakup. During that time, she promised herself she wouldn't fall for anyone easily again. She wanted to be careful this time. She wanted to think with her head, not her heart. Then, one evening, a friend invited her to a birthday party. Emma almost didn't go. She was tired after work and thought about staying home, but at the last minute she changed her mind. That single decision would completely change the next few months of her life. As she walked into the party, she noticed someone standing alone near the kitchen. His name was Alex. They started talking. At first, it was nothing special, just small talk about work, movies, and how neither of them actually wanted to be at the party. But then something strange happened. Every answer Alex gave felt exactly like something Emma herself would have said. They both loved old mystery movies. They both dreamed of traveling to Japan. Even their childhood stories sounded surprisingly similar. Hours passed, without either of them realizing it. When the party finally ended, Emma drove home with a smile she couldn't explain. She picked up her phone and saw that Alex had already sent her a message. "I had a really great time tonight," Emma smiled. She replied almost instantly. From that moment, they talked every single day. Good morning messages, late night conversations, random memes, long phone calls that somehow lasted until 2 in the morning. Within a week, Emma noticed something had changed. She couldn't focus at work anymore. Every notification made her heart race. Every free moment, she found herself thinking about Alex, not because she wanted to, but because she simply couldn't stop. Then, something even stranger happened. One night, as Emma lay in bed staring at the ceiling, she caught herself imagining what their future children might look like. She suddenly froze. What am I doing? She had only known Alex for 8 days. Yet somehow, her brain was already writing a love story that hadn't even begun. And that's exactly where human psychology becomes fascinating. Emma tried to convince herself that she was overthinking. Maybe I'm just excited. Maybe this is normal. But deep down, she knew something felt different. Only 8 days had passed. Yet Alex had somehow become the first person she thought about every morning, and the last person on her mind before falling asleep. Then came Friday night. Alex invited her to dinner. Nothing expensive, just a small Italian restaurant across town. The date was perfect. They laughed, shared stories from their childhood, talked about their dreams. And by the time the night ended, Emma felt something she hadn't felt in years: safety. As Alex drove away, Emma sat inside her car for several minutes, smiling, replaying every moment of the evening, every joke, every compliment, every smile. It was as if her brain had pressed the replay button and refused to stop. The next morning, Emma woke up expecting a message. Nothing. An hour passed. Still nothing. She picked up her phone, checked it, put it down. 5 minutes later, she checked it again. By lunchtime, she had looked at her phone more than 30 times. Not because Alex had done anything wrong, but because her own mind wouldn't let her relax. She started asking herself questions. Did I say something weird? Maybe he lost interest. Maybe I texted too much. Her mood was now completely controlled by a person she had known for just over a week. And this is where psychology gives us the first answer. When you meet someone who makes you feel excited, your brain releases a powerful chemical called dopamine. Dopamine isn't the chemical of love. It's the chemical of anticipation. It rewards possibility, not certainty. That's why the beginning of a relationship often feels more exciting than the relationship itself. Every notification, every text, every compliment becomes a small reward. Your brain starts craving the next one, almost like pulling the lever on a slot machine. You never know when the next reward will come, and that uncertainty makes you want it even more. By Sunday evening, Alex finally replied, "Sorry, I've been really busy this weekend." Just one sentence. That's all it took. Within seconds, Emma's anxiety disappeared. Her smile returned. Her heart felt lighter. Nothing around her had changed. Only one text message. But somehow, it completely changed the way she felt. And that's exactly how emotional attachment begins. Not because you truly know the other person, but because your brain has started connecting them with relief, excitement, and happiness. The strange part is, Emma still didn't know Alex very well. She didn't know how he handled anger. She didn't know how honest he really was. She didn't know what he was like during difficult times. Yet inside her mind, Alex already felt perfect. But why? Why does the brain fill in the missing pieces instead of waiting for the truth? The answer lies in something psychologists call idealization. And for Emma, that would change everything. Over the next few weeks, Emma and Alex grew closer. They went on more dates, watched movies together, shared late-night phone calls, and for the first time in a long time, Emma genuinely felt happy. Her friends noticed it too. "You've changed. I've never seen you smile this much." Emma simply laughed. "I think I've finally found the right person." She believed every word. But then, something small happened. One Friday evening, Emma and Alex had plans to meet for dinner. She spent nearly an hour getting ready. She checked herself in the mirror one last time, grabbed her keys, and waited. 6 o'clock. Nothing. 6:30. Still nothing. Finally, her phone buzzed. "Sorry, something came up. Maybe another day." No explanation. Just one Emma stared at the screen. For a moment, she felt disappointed, but almost immediately, her brain found an excuse. "He's probably just stressed. Maybe work is difficult. It's not a big deal." She wasn't protecting Alex. She was protecting the version of Alex that existed inside her own mind. A few days later, something similar happened again. Alex disappeared for almost 2 days. No calls, no messages, nothing. Emma wanted to ask where he'd been, but she stopped herself. She didn't want to seem too needy. Instead, she convinced herself that everything was fine. Even though, deep inside, she knew it wasn't. This is one of the strangest things the human brain does. When we fall in love too quickly, we don't fall in love with the person. We fall in love with the story we've created about them. Psychologists call this idealization. Instead of seeing someone as they really are, your brain quietly fills in the missing pieces. It assumes they're kind, loyal, honest, understanding, even if you don't actually have enough evidence to know those things. In other words, your imagination begins doing the work that reality hasn't done yet. Think about it. Emma had known Alex for less than a month, yet inside her mind, she already believed she knew exactly who he was. Not because Alex had proven it, but because her brain wanted the story to be true. And once your brain creates that perfect version of someone, every red flag becomes easier to ignore. Late replies become, "He's just busy." Canceled plans become, "He didn't mean it." Cold behavior becomes, "He's probably having a bad day." Without realizing it, Emma wasn't falling deeper in love with Alex. She was falling deeper in love with the fantasy she'd built around him. And fantasies can feel even stronger than reality, but reality always catches up. A week later, Emma would discover something that would completely shatter the image she'd created in her mind. The following Saturday, Emma was sitting at a coffee shop, waiting for Alex. 10 minutes passed, then 20, then 30. Finally, Alex walked in. He didn't apologize. He didn't even seem to notice that Emma had been waiting. Instead, he sat down, looked at his phone, and started talking about his own day. For the first time, Emma felt something strange. She wasn't happy. She wasn't excited. She felt invisible. As Alex spoke, Emma realized something. She knew almost everything about him. His favorite movie, his favorite food, his childhood memories, even his biggest dreams. But Alex barely knew anything about her. Every conversation had always been about him. Yet somehow, Emma had convinced herself this was love. That night, she went home, lay on her bed, and asked herself one simple question. Why am I trying so hard for someone who barely tries for me? The answer wasn't in Alex. It was inside her own brain. Psychologists call this emotional dependency. When someone gives us attention, then suddenly pulls it away, our brain starts craving that attention even more. It's called intermittent reinforcement. Imagine pressing a button. Sometimes you get a reward, sometimes you don't. Strangely, that uncertainty makes the reward even more addictive. It's the same reason people get addicted to gambling, and sometimes it's the same reason people become addicted to a person. Emma wasn't waiting for Alex anymore. She was waiting for the feeling Alex gave her. The excitement, the butterflies, the relief every time his name appeared on her phone. Her brain had confused attention with love. And that's a mistake millions of people make without ever realizing it. The next morning, Emma looked back at the last month. For the first time, she stopped asking, "Does Alex love me?" and started asking, "Why do I need someone else's attention to feel happy?" That single question changed everything. Emma went home, and for the first time, she stopped blaming Alex. Instead, she looked at herself. She realized she hadn't fallen in love with who Alex really was. She had fallen in love with the version of Alex that her own mind had created. From that day on, she slowed down. She stopped imagining a future with people she had only just met. She gave relationships time to reveal the truth because she finally understood something most people never realize. Falling in love quickly doesn't always mean your feelings are deeper. Sometimes, it simply means your brain is filling in the blanks before reality has the chance to. Real love isn't built in a few days. It grows through trust, consistency, and time. So if you've ever fallen for someone almost instantly, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It just means you're human. And now, you know how your own mind can sometimes confuse excitement with love. If you enjoyed this psychological story, subscribe for more real stories that reveal how the human mind actually works. Because sometimes, the biggest mystery isn't other people, it's our own brain.